Good evening, good evening. I just want to get in here and give some brief updates that I've seen from Chronicle Speaks channel and from Don Lemon's um, interview of Ben Crump. First, before I get started, I want to apologize to um, Nolan Wells' parents. I got so emotional because I hate to see people put their guards down. And I don't know what his mom and dad told him because we all know that when our kids are not in our presence, um, sometimes they put aside everything we tell them. Okay? So I don't know his parents like that, so I can't make assumptions just because they lived in a predominantly white, affluent area, um, that they didn't have those talks with him. Um, Based on Chronicle Speaks channel, there's a young lady who went to school with some of these kids and Nolan, and she really gave a lot of information that was, that put some things into perspective. One, there were other black children there, okay, that or teenagers there, and they were not allowed to get on the boat because they said that the boat was to capacity, and but that Nolan ended up on the boat. And it sounds like that could be a potential setup. Maybe some guys were upset who was interested in a young lady that Nolan was interested in. And I don't care racial animosity. I don't care what anybody said. We have to deal with those issues. And like I said, I don't care. You have to watch all people. All people. But this country was built on racism. It was built upon a racial system that we're still feeling the ripple effects of it to this very day. When when it comes to economic, yes, we are big consumers, but when it comes to getting loans, getting government contracts, things that build wealth, there are several obstacles put in our way. And we have to keep jumping hurdles and hurdles and hurdles where other people are not given those same hurdles to jump. And I'm speaking right now because I still go through racism. We're not easily promoted. I went on an interview, and this young girl told me to turn my Aretha down. They're so emboldened now with their races, and I looked at her. Because it was a an interview through Zoom, through Teams, and I gave her a look. I said, "What did you just say?" I said, "What's wrong with Lavita Franklin? She's an icon. She civil rights movement. What's wrong with her? What you mean turn my Aretha down? Why didn't you say turn my Madonna down?" You know? And she was just a little young chick, and she gonna tell me, oh no no no. And she said, I can't believe you know your resume. I said, because unlike some folks, I don't have to embellish my resume. Matter of fact, I had to take stuff off so it wouldn't be 4 pages because I did everything that's on my resume. So I don't have to look at it to tell you what's in it. Hello. To this day, when I started out practicing law in 1996, I really started in 95 with my clerkship, but in 96, I opened my own law practice. The racism I had to go through because at that time there wasn't that many of us who came back to Patterson, okay, that was practicing law at the same time that I was, that was black. And I would go into court right in the very courthouse where I was a law clerk. And the sheriff would ask me my name as if I was a defendant. And I'm holding a court rule books and a briefcase. We still, to this day, we're not promoted. I done applied for several jobs that I was overly qualified. Okay? I really should be a review manager. And I even I said, now check out the review managers and check out my resume. Enough said. So, anyway, it's still a white man's world. It still is. And white women benefit the most from affirmative action. My white friends are telling me, the ones I hang with, we keep it real with each other. We keep it real. One of them want me to sue our company. I said I ain't suing them for what? Tell your little white friend to do it. Tell the other white attorney to do it. If she do it, I'll be her witness. I got my binder of evidence. I said, go ahead and tell her to do it. Because the courts are more sympathetic. I mean, these are real. This is not being racist. We didn't create racism. Let's start there. Wealthy people created racism, and they have miseducated the whites to give them an appearance of superiority. Yes, they will hire them. Yes, they will promote them a lot faster. Yes, they don't have to have the credentials and experiences that we come to the table with. Yes, we have to be Amber Rose. We have to be 100 times better. But I don't worry about that. I just make sure my character and my skill sets are up to par. And I let God take care of the rest. Now, God used a magna. Okay. I just let the guy talk, vent. I mean, some of them just want to get their rocks off and say something in the presence of a black person. I let him, but you know what he was doing the whole time? I just ignore him. I don't argue with racists. I just sat there, listen, let him vent. You know, okay, I understand what you say. But he taught me, he trained me, he got me a promotion. This dude, and he was super magna. Okay? Okay? See, God will make your enemies your footstool. But you gotta do it his way. We can't get over there and gang banging white folks unless they step to us and are a threat. But outside that, we don't have to argue. We don't have to argue. Just withhold your dollar. You disrespected an establishment, leave. Don't sit there argue with them. Get up and leave. Why would you trust any of the food that they didn't spit in your food? Or put stuff in your food. Get up and leave. Stop all that damn arguing. Just like Jasmine Crockett sitting there in Congress arguing with these folks. They look stupid. Write legislation. That sister girl I don't take that into work. But I let people know, I check them if they disrespect me. As long as they don't disrespect me, we're good. You ain't got to like me. We don't have to be friends. We're just there for one thing and one thing only, to do the job. If you keep it simple, you'll be okay. So I made assumptions about the Wells family that I have no idea. And now that I got more information that there were other black kids there, but he still, excuse me, he still felt comfortable enough to get on that boat and be the only black guy. And there was an argument that was recorded. And the way these key people are moving, getting their story straight, something went down. There was a fight, and I'm just curious to see what that autopsy reveals. That independent autopsy, because I don't trust these medical examiners. You know, they working with the prosecutor. They not working for the defense. Okay, they're working to convict. Okay, so their autopsies are very slanted. I think there should always be two, an independent and a county. The county and the county prosecutor and the coroner work hand in hand. And this is when integrity comes in. This is when, because you know what? Probably someone with integrity will be threatened by the prosecutor. We gotta expose all this ASAP. We have to. We have to start exposing. There's a lot. When I meet up with, I'm gonna have a list of things we need to work on to make our judicial system to work and to live up to the constitutional mandates. That judge should not be allowed to sit on a bench, a lifetime appointment, if they violate the Constitution as it relates to all American citizens. But anyway, I digress. So, yeah, so I take that back. Okay, I really, I shouldn't say. Now, what I said about the GoFundMe, I still stand on that. But that's I'm assuming that these people, if you live in suburbs, it doesn't look good. The first thing you do is throw up a GoFundMe. Now, is that money used? I don't know how Ben Crump works, but normally when in a civil matter, um, you don't have to pay anything up front. So I don't know. I don't know what's his fee scale or his fee arrangement, but I know normally you don't put anything up front for civil matters. That the attorney, once there's a verdict rendered, or in a civil matter, then you get paid from the proceeds, um, from the party who's held liable. So I don't know how that works. So I'm not sure what the GoFundMe is for. Um, I'm not sure. I didn't even look at it, but it just doesn't look good. If you live in suburbia, that lets you know. Let me tell you something. A lot of these people in suburbias they're one paycheck away from, total collapse. Okay, I'm telling you, I've been living in suburbia for since what, 2007. And see, y'all gotta stop saying just because someone is affluent that they're okay. Let me tell you, they got more access to evil. They have more access to evil. First of all, there should be police present on that island. I got a lot of questions because it seemed like that's an island for debauchery. So we have to look at it. But Ben Crump says that the autopsy results are should be available on Friday. I'm assuming tomorrow, and I'll wait for that. But yeah, shout out to Chronicle Speaks. I will link her video in the description box. It's already on my community wall. She did a great. I love her videos too. I really do. I really her and the Pink Book and Neek at Night. I really like them, and of course, Lovely T. I just like the way they, I really enjoy their channel, and I enjoy Tasha K too from time to time. Sometimes. But anyway, I tell you, Tasha is the client from hell. Okay, she is. She's a lawyer's worst nightmare. Oh my God. But anyway, I will talk to you later. Yeah, we'll talk later. Hugs, hugs. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.